This is how buying decisions are made, right? This is psychoanalytical stuff. This is not something I created. It's not something that I made up on my own. This has been defined in the 50s, which is, now a very long time ago, by the psychiatrist Eric Berne, who says that we all have these three ego states. We have a child ego state, an adult ego state, and a parent ego state. And it's these ego states that help us make decisions every day, all the time, from what you wear to work, to what you're having for breakfast, to whether or not you're going to have a donut at breakfast, to whether you're going to have egg whites, to what clothes you're wearing. Every decision we make goes through this process very quickly, and I'm going to break it down for you. So the first thing I want to talk about is the child's ego state, right? This is your emotional you. This is where your feelings are stored. This is where if somebody does something that upsets you, this is your child ego responding, right? Whether it's someone who breaks your heart on a personal level, or they tell you they love you on a personal level, that's your child ego. Whether it's a prospect saying, yes, let's take that next meeting. When you get excited, that's your child ego. When they say no, or they've decided to go with someone else, that emotional piece is your child. And it often starts with I want it. If someone doesn't say I want it, it means it's going to be hard to get them to actually do anything. The child ego is where your decisions originate, right? Think about when you woke up this morning and you decided what you were going to have for breakfast. Was I going to have a donut, or am I going to have something healthy, right? The child may say, oh, I really, really, really want that donut, right? It almost feels giddy. You can feel that sense in you. Well, let's move forward to the next ego state and talk about it a little. The next is the rational you. This is your adult ego state. If you're the kind of person who does pros and cons and pluses and minuses and upsides and downsides in your decision-making process, this is you being rational. And your prospects and customers do the exact same thing. The thing that you want to remember about the adult ego state is that it gives you permission to move forward. So if you're an SDR, that means that you're going to go forward to get that meeting set. They're going to say, yes, I'll take the meeting. If it means they're going to introduce you to the next person in the chain of command, that's their adult ego state. That adult ego state is saying, based on the information I've heard, based on what I've learned so far, I want to continue this process. The third ego state is your parent ego state, right? We all have parents. We've all been through this. And sometimes it still happens even to me when my mom comes to visit me now. She loves to tell me what to do. But basically what the parent ego state is designed to do is designed to teach you good from bad, right from wrong, and appropriate versus inappropriate. There are actually two parts of the parent ego state. One is the critical part, the critical self. This is the one that's passing judgment on you, right? And so the parent ego state gives you approval or judgment. Now, what ends up happening is that you have two parent ego states. One is the critical one, who's passing judgment. The other is the nurturing parent. That's the one who, if you think about it, when a child comes in and says, oh my gosh, I fell down and hurt myself, and the parent comes in and says, oh, I'm so sorry, buddy. Here, let's go clean that up. That's a nurturing parent. In sales, sometimes you need to go and vent to your boss. That is your child ego state saying, hey, I want some help. I just want you to listen a little bit. And if your boss is good, they'll say, oh, but dude, I've been through a scenario like that. That's their nurturing parent side of the manager. The critical side of a sales manager would be something like, hey, get back on the phones. What happened on that call? Why didn't you ask this? Why didn't you ask that? Sometimes that critical parent stuff is a tone of voice as much as it is the words that they're saying.